Hello and welcome to the WriteCome.com podcast, where we help you to make money from your words. Each episode will be sharing tips, tricks, and strategies you can use to make more money from your writing, publishing, and marketing to your fans and audience. Let's get started with your host, Barry J. McDonald.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode from WriteCome.com. And today's podcast episode is entitled The Scariest Thing I Did This Week. Now, no, I didn't go bungee jumping, I didn't go on a hang glider, I didn't throw myself out of an airplane on a parachute or anything like that. The scariest thing I did this week was I deleted my email list. Just with the click of a button, I sent up to, I think it was nearly 400 people off on their merry way. Now, you're probably wondering, why would you delete your email list? Especially a list that had a lot of buyers, because at the end of the day, you have the most important email list you could ever have is an email list filled with buyers. But I've noticed over this past couple of months, as I was kind of changing the direction that I was going in, because I'd kind of grown tired of how I started off. In the very beginning, I created a course called Cheap Children's Picture Books. And in that course, I was showing how anyone, and I mean anyone, could actually create a fantastic looking picture book. And at the time, I had sold that product over on Warrior Plus, and I sold a lot of copies of it. I made a nice few amount of dollars from that, and I ended up with a list of buyers. Now, over this past, I think it must be 4 or 5 years, I have been emailing that list regularly. I have been promoting some of my low content digital courses. I have been selling some fiction courses to them as well. I have been selling them courses on email writing and all those different things. But over time, I just had decided, something, Barry, there's only so much you can do with actually low content books. You can't really get excited about creating a new colouring book. Now, some people, that may be what they are into. Some people like creating puzzle books and colouring books and things like that. But for me, I didn't think it was really making a big difference in the world. And what I thought as well was, if you have a business that is filled with low content books, it's really very easy for someone just to come along and just to clone your business, just to copy your ideas, and then just to, all of a sudden, then you might have had maybe a niche to yourself, but, overnight you find maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 people suddenly are selling the same types of books as you are because they see that you are making money on it. And again, too, with fiction, I kind of grown a little bit tired of fiction, even though, I do like some of the aspects of fiction writing, like character creation and stuff like that. But I just couldn't see myself sitting down for the next couple of weeks, or next couple of months, writing fiction book after fiction book and putting them on the Kindle store and having to compete with everybody. And I don't think I have any really stories in me at the moment that I want to get out, If you know me for long at all, you probably know I had created a series of Minecraft fiction books, and I had written a collection of 17 books in that. And at this stage, at the end of that, I think I had just got everything out of me that I want to do. Now, I did dabble a little bit in kind of romance fiction, but again, I gave that a little go and decided it wasn't for me. So just over this past couple of months, I was just deciding, WriteCome needs to go in a different direction. I don't want to be creating products on low content books, or I don't want to be doing fiction stuff. And I told my list at the time that I was moving away from it. And just over this past couple of months, I found that even though I was sending emails and a lot of emails were being opened, I didn't find that anybody was really interested in what I was doing. They were still in, if that's what they want to do, that's no problem with me. I have no problem if somebody wants to continue doing low content books or doing fiction books or whatever, but it just wasn't for me. And I just kind of felt that there was a kind of a distance between us, that we were just kind of drifting apart. And I could email these people for longer, but I just decided, do I really want to be someone's kind of digital pen pal, where I'm sending them a little bit of a message every day? And maybe it's time, maybe we just need to part ways. So instead of me kind of maybe, hitting the unsubscribe button or asking them to do that, because a lot of people probably, given the choice, would probably hang on because maybe they like my emails and things like that. They probably wouldn't take that action. I decided, well, Barry, maybe it's time for you to do it yourself. Maybe it's time for you to click on that button and just delete all those subscribers in one go. And as I said, it was one of the scariest things I had done. It's almost like some of these people I have known for 4 or 5 years. Some of these people do reach out to me from time, and not only do they talk about their business, but they also talk about their kind of offline life as well. Some of the trials and tribulations they're going through. Maybe some family members are going through health crises, or they're telling me about the financial situation and things like that. Things that, when you think about it, a lot of people don't really realize when you build a good relationship with someone through email. A lot of people will sometimes see you as maybe an agony aunt or an agony uncle, where they just ask your advice. I remember Ben Settle saying one time that, when someone sees you as an expert on one thing, they kind of think that you're an expert on everything. And he said, some people see him as an expert on email, and a lot of people would be asking him questions that, he would have no knowledge on. But because people had seen him as an expert in email, they thought, well, if Ben's good at email, well, he probably has an idea or an answer to this question that I have. And they would ask him kind of random questions that he said he wouldn't even tackle because he didn't know, he wasn't an expert on it. I didn't want to give the wrong advice. And, I found that through the power of email marketing, especially when you're emailing somebody on, a regular basis. It's almost like, for some people, it's almost like you are their favourite DJ on the radio that they're listening to, in the morning drive. Or you're someone that they watch maybe at lunchtime, some TV presenter that shows up every day. And because they're always there in the background, you become a part of their life. And when I did hit the button, or before that, I sent an email to everybody saying that I was, deleting everybody off the database, I knew I would get a few people emailing me back, maybe some of them being a little bit disappointed. But in the email I said to them, well, there's no point in us kind of prolonging this any further. I just think it's time for both of us to make our ways. And, some people will probably try and creep back onto my email list. They'll probably find some opt-in page of mine. Because I haven't given up on email marketing. It's not like I've walked away from it. It's just the list I had just wasn't right for what I wanted to do. But I am going to continue along with my email marketing. And if you are someone who probably was on that list, you probably are glad to hear that I will have an opt-in page at some stage, and that you can get back on again. But as I said, it was scary for me because I've known these people, as I said, for 4 or 5 years. We'd built up a relationship together. I'd sold them products, and, just to delete everybody, just to kind of go back to square one. A part of me was kind of saying, Barry, no matter how bad this is, it's better to have, these subscribers on your email list rather than going back to zero. But when you think about it, those people weren't really, interested in what I was about to do. So I was just going to be sending emails to people who just weren't interested. And I was just going to end up probably being a pain in the ass in their inbox. But, when I kind of thought about it as well too, I'm going back to square one. But when I thought about it, I said to myself, well, Barry, you're not really going back to square one. Okay, you might be back to maybe zero with your subscriber list. Everybody's gone. But when you think about it, you've got 5 years of daily email writing under your belt. So, the next couple of subscribers that do get on that list, you're going to feel confident enough to write emails to them, and you'll be able to build a relationship with them probably a lot quicker than you did with the previous batch of people. But you still have 5 years of, of knowledge and kind of experience and showing up regularly to write those emails that it will stand to you. So again, whatever you are in your business right now, maybe you are about to do something scary. Maybe you're going to do something you've never done before. Maybe you're going to get rid of an email list. I don't know. Maybe you're about to close down a Facebook page or whatever. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm back to square one. But you're probably not back to square one, because you have experience, you have knowledge. And, you are going to take that into the next part of your business, or whatever your next little adventure is on the internet. You're not starting back at square one. So, as I said, maybe if you are one of my old email subscribers, that was the reason I did it. It was nothing personally against you. I just thought, I didn't want to be harassing people. I didn't want to be sending emails to people who just weren't really interested in what I was doing. And that is why I deleted everything off. And it's not that I just did it at the click of a button and never really gave it much thought at all. It was a little bit scary for me, because I was going to be back to square one again. So, as always, let's see what's going to happen on this little journey. And if you do want to get back onto my email opt-in list, you will find a course I have at the moment, which is called How to Become an Online Celebrity. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the course that is going to stay on the opt-in page. I'm probably sure that I will probably test a couple of product ideas or PDFs or digital courses on that opt-in page. So maybe by the time you do listen to this podcast, it could be a completely different report on the Rightcome page. But if you want to head over and see what is free as a download today, if you want to go over to Rightcome, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find all the goodies over there. So as always, thanks for your time today. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more from the Rightcome.com podcast, be sure to subscribe now for more tips, tricks, and ideas you can use to make more money from your words. See you in the next episode.